Alright, so I was gonna make this video the other day after the Hawks game, but I'm glad I waited because it's one thing for Klay to be benched down the stretch for Brandon Pajemski. Maybe Klay Thompson can somehow rationalize in his mind why that makes sense. I'm not sure he would, but maybe he could. Him being benched down the stretch for Guy Santos is something Klay Thompson will never be able to accept. And that's what just happened. We seen the video of Klay Thompson walking around after the game looking extremely pissed off. Then we had the post-game interview posted here by Anthony Slater. I'm not going to play you guys the interview, but you see the quotes. If I am showing the video, you see how upset Klay Thompson looks during these quotes, and you see what Draymond blurts in from across the room. Like, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a cheerful help from Draymond or like just get over it from Draymond, but it's pretty clear Klay Thompson is not getting over it. Klay Thompson is not going to be okay with Guy Santos closing over him. And what I think people are getting misconstrued in all of this is Klay Thompson is still a very good player. Klay Thompson is still one of the best shooters in the league. He's still 6'7", he still has size, he's still strong. He's still a useful player. And I think part of the problem is the Warriors are asking Klay Thompson to be someone that he's just not. He used to be a shooting guard that shot everything that came his way. He defended point guards. He no longer can defend point guards. He's now a forward. When you're a forward, you're asked to do more as far as a help defender. Klay Thompson's never been this amazing team defender. Klay Thompson has never really had to account for anybody else on the court but himself and his man. And now they're asking him to be this all-around team guy. That's not really Klay Thompson. That's not a shot at Klay. That's just never been his game. But as long as he's wearing number 11 for the Golden State Warriors, it's going to be hard to see him as anything but Klay Thompson. Game 6 Klay, 37 points in a quarter Klay, 60 points on 11 dribbles Klay. He's always going to have that kind of hanging over things to where the natural pecking order that should be happening on this team is hard to happen when Klay Thompson is still out there every single night. Klay Thompson is still a very useful player, but he's just never going to get that on this team. I don't think we're going to see Ray Allen, Miami Heat version on this team. If Klay was willing to take that role and take the pay cut that comes with that role, I think he'd be fine on this team. But I just don't see that happening. And a lot of things have gone wrong with the Warriors this year, but they've lost a couple games this year trying to protect Klay Thompson's ego, trying to protect his feelings, trying to protect against him moping on the bench like he's done numerous times this year. I just don't know what the Warriors do here. I feel like it's probably going to end up being Klay Thompson plays out this season and he goes somewhere else next year where it makes sense for him to go. Because on the Warriors, Klay Thompson in this role just doesn't really make all that much sense anymore, which is crazy to say. But again, I just want to reiterate that I don't think Klay Thompson is just this bum now. I think Klay Thompson could help a lot of teams. Like I said, I think Klay could help the Warriors. Just not being Game 6 Klay, trying to be Game 6 Klay. That's not helping this team right now. And part of the problem is Klay Thompson is pretty much a forward at this point in his career, and you have Draymond, who I guess is a center now. You have Kuminga, you have Wiggins. All of those guys provide a different level of defense and athleticism than Klay can give them right now. And if we're talking about guards, Pajemski has just been better than Klay for a lot of this year. If GP2 comes back, his defense maybe is more important than what Klay provides at this point. They don't even have Chris Paul right now. If Chris Paul comes back, maybe his playmaking is more important than what Klay brings. Like, I didn't even mention Moses Moody, who might just be a better player than Klay Thompson at this point. I'm not saying he is, but I am saying how would we know if he is? Part of the reason we don't know if he is because Klay is entitled to these minutes, and I'm not even blaming Steve Kerr for that because that's Klay Thompson. But we're only 3 days away from the trade deadline. I don't think the Warriors are going to trade Klay Thompson. I would not be like shocked. I would be a little bit surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I think they're going to just ride it out with Klay. But honestly, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Klay would rather go somewhere with a bigger role or sit on the bench to close games? I don't know. I think Klay, in his pride, he might really just want to go somewhere else and try to be all-star Klay again because he seems to really believe he could be that player still. And I don't want to pounce on Klay too much here, but it's pretty clear the last couple years how much of a negative vibe he brings around the team when he's not playing well or when he's not playing, you know, when he's getting benched. The whole team walks around eggshells around this guy. Everyone's trying their hardest not to bruise Klay's ego. Again, I'm not trying to pile on Klay Thompson. I know a lot of people have a lot of criticism for Klay for just shooting shots, like you don't want Klay Thompson to shoot shots. I don't have a problem with that. I feel like the only way you can actually scale Klay Thompson back is to scale his minutes back, and I just don't think Klay is ever going to be all that accepting of it, and that brings us to the point where the Warriors have a bit of a dilemma here on how they're going to move forward with Klay Thompson. But Klay Thompson is amazing. Klay Thompson is a legend. Klay Thompson is still a good NBA player. I think some people are being unfair to Klay in the criticism of him. I also think some people are being homers, being biased and not wanting to admit how much of a problem he actually is at times. It's somewhere in the middle there, but I think it's pretty clear Klay Thompson is not going to be a huge focal point in the next great Warriors team. I just don't know how they choose to address that. We are 3 days away from the trade deadline. I wouldn't be extremely shocked if he got traded, but I would be a little bit surprised. You guys let me know what you think about Klay Thompson and him going forward, what you think about this Warriors team, and would they ever trade Klay Thompson? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.